So today I'm going to be Anwen, it throws me off. Right, I know you're sick of me saying the going to thing, but it throws me off every time. Okay, so today we are going to be... Oh, I've got the wrong one. What a good start that was. Okay, so today I'm going to be telling you about my thoughts on the Cleopatra's Kiss highlighting palette by Sleek. This is what she looks like. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I mean, really, look at that. I'm going to link my review of the Solstice palette down below so you can check that out if you would like to. I am a huge fan of this palette. It's definitely one of my favourite highlighting palettes, particularly for when I'm filming. I just think that the highlights are so... Excuse me, I wasn't finished talking about you. Don't be shy. Come on, come out, let the world see you. There she is. Yeah, I think that this palette is a lot more intense and extra than the Cleopatra's Kiss. But anyway, I'm going to try not to talk too much about the Solstice palette today because we're here to discuss the Cleopatra's Kiss. I do feel like this one has gone a little bit below the radar. Everybody seems to love the Solstice palette, and rightly so. But I've not really heard a lot of people talking about the Cleopatra's Kiss palette. I wasn't even intending to buy this, but then me and Honeys were shopping and we swatched it and I was addicted. Like, I was addicted, I was sucked in, and I said, how can I not buy this? How can I not buy this? And then Honeys was just encouraging me and saying, oh yes, Anwen, it looks beautiful, because he was getting involved in the swatching as well. And then it was like he was enabling me, basically. So he enabled me and we got it. We got it. So this palette features 2 powder highlights and then 2 cream highlights, which is exactly the same as in the Solstice palette. I'm going to be doing swatches for you in a sec, and I'm also going to be showing you what this looks like going on. This palette is very much kind of like bronzy, champagne-y tones. It's a lot more kind of understated than the Solstice palette, and I do think that it's a bit more kind of everyday wearable. Obviously, everyone's different. Everyone's opinion on what kind of wearable is kind of varies a lot. But for me, this is just a little bit, I don't know, it's just a little bit more everyday. It's just every day. I'm just going to do a couple of swatches for you. I'm going to swatcheroo this one first. There she is right there. And I'm going to swatch. Have I already got a swatch there or something? Of course, I've got a swatch already in situ. Right, okay, I think we're done. Okay, so I will swatch her here. These powders feel very kind of, very, I don't know, very finely milled. These aren't necessarily like the most like bright highlights ever. I'll just do a little swatcheroo there so you can see. Look at that. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Look at that. Oh, so beautiful, like really. And I will swatch the creamy ones for you as well. Look at the beauty. Look at the beauty of that. I just think that these, for the price, are really, really brilliant. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I just love that. I love it. So when I wore this for the first time a couple of days ago, I was just in love, like all day. I mean, I know it sounds very narcissistic and self-obsessed, but I couldn't stop like looking at my face. This palette just gave me like a really kind of wet look glow, and this is what I'm always talking about here when I'm talking about highlighters. I am a huge fan of the dewy kind of wet look, just as if you're just like a bronzed goddess. That's what I'm always going for with the highlighters. I'm not a huge fan of the really kind of unnatural looking highlights that are like, you know, just very in your face. And I think they look beautiful on other people. It's just not something that I'm into for kind of like every day at work and Tesco and hanging out with the kids at home, you know. So anyway, I'm just going to get straight to. She always says that. And then she proceeds to talk for like an hour. Okay, so Shall we see them in action? Let's do this. So I'm going to use my contour brush here. For the purpose of this video, I may use the 2 powder shades I feel today, just because I don't know, I feel that would be the thing to do. So I've dib-dabbed my brush in there. By the way, I know this is not the best highlighter brush. I don't know why I'm using this. It was there and I thought I shall use that one. No, probably not the best, right? So I'll just go in a little bit more. Can you see that? Can you just see the glow? You see what I mean about that kind of bronzed glow? Bronze glow. Those like super metallic highlights. These powders aren't kind of chunky. They're not glittery. They're not chalky. It's almost like they're a powder to cream kind of formula. Is there even such a thing as powder to cream? I don't know. Anyway, on my other cheek, I'm going to go in with this bronzy shade here. Now, this is a lot kind of, I don't know, it's a bit darker, so I don't know if I'm going to get away with this, but hey, we're going to try anyway. Can you see that upon my cheek? Oh, honestly, this palette excites me so much. It excites me a lot more than the Solstice palette, and I love the Solstice palette, so that just shows how much I love this palette. The reason why I wasn't going to get this palette was because to me it seemed like it wouldn't necessarily be the most complementary kind of palette for my skin tone because I am quite fair. However, I was wrong. The palette really just, I think, gives my skin a really pretty bronze, natural, glowy look. Oh, I'll just show you. I mean, really, I can't control these sounds that are coming out of my mouth right now. They're uncontrollable. They're just involuntary. They're just coming out. Anyway, we're going to put a little bit of the nose highlight. Oh, see, they're not, I can't not make these sounds. Hello, nose, you have come to life. Look at this. Look, if my nose could dance, it would be dancing around right now. It would be dancing. It would be saying, oh yes, I have come to life. I mean, this palette, this palette. So this is the lightest of the powder shades. Look at that. Just very subtle and radiant and glowy. And then over here we've got the more bronzy shade, which again I think isn't too bad on my fair skin. I don't think so. I think in the pan, like, you might think to yourself that bronzy shade would be a little bit too dark for fair skin, but actually up on the face I think it looks really, really nice. I'm gonna dab on a little bit of the cream shade as well, just so we can okay, look at this. Oh, gosh. I mean, I might just not talk anymore and just let the palette do the talking. Look, just look at this. My cheeks, if they could sing, they would be singing right now. I don't know quite what they'd be singing, but I think it would be a really beautiful, beautiful song. So I'm going to swatch this lighter kind of yellow kind of tone. Cream up on this cheek. Oh, I don't really like that one. I think the only shade in this palette that I'm not a huge fan of is this one here. You may look at this and think, well, Anwen, that looks like it would actually be the ideal shade for your skin. I just find that it's got quite a yellowy undertone. If I do another swatch, just so you can see. Can you see that there? It's kind of leaning a little bit on the yellowy gold side, which isn't really my bag. I think it would look beautiful on other people. It's just a personal preference thing. It's just not for me. I just love it. I would highly recommend you check this out if you're a huge fan like me of highlights. Don't be put off if you have fair skin, thinking that it may be a little bit too dark, because that's exactly what I thought, and it turns out I love it. If I had to say, or not even if I had to say, I would just be quite casual and happy in saying I definitely prefer the Cleopatra's Kiss to the Solstice palette. I love the Solstice palette, but I love this one more. I've also used the powder shades as eyeshadows as well, and they are really beautiful, just for like a bronzed bit of like shimmer going on the eyes. So I feel like, you know, it's a little bit of a multitasker. I don't feel as comfortable using the creams as I do using the powders, and I think that's again just a personal preference. That's not to say that I don't like the creams, and I think it's really good that they've got them in there, but I am a lot more kind of a powder kind of highlight girl, I think. So anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this review, and I hope that it's been somewhat useful to you. Let's apply a little bit more. Why not? We're here. Let's do it. Let's just get as bronzed as we could possibly get. I just love the way that this has that kind of, I know I'm always going on about the wet look. I'm always harping on about the wet look. But do you know what? I would pay $9.99 just for this. I'm saying it. She said it right here. $9.99 just for this one. This is my favourite shade. I would be happy paying that. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I don't know why no one's talking about this. Like, I've not really seen anybody. Look, I'm putting it on my cheeks. She's just putting it everywhere. I put a bit on my chin. There we go. Liven up the chin a bit. Like, I don't know why no one's talking about this palette. Like, why? It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I just don't know why. She's loving it. She is in the highlighting zone right now. I'm going to have to stop. I'm putting the brush down, and I'm going to put the palette down, and I'm just going to not put any more on. But look, I just want you to really see like how pretty this is. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? I hope you can see. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go now. I hope that you've enjoyed this review. I'm sorry if I've not quite seen myself today, but I've got the most awful sinusitis ever in the world. Well, it's not. We don't know. I'm sure there's people with worse sinusitis than me right now, but I'm just a little bit below par. However, I would not let that get in the way of telling you all about the Cleopatra's Kiss palette, because it's a beautiful one. So I hope that this review has been somewhat useful to you. If you've got any questions, please let me know down below. If you've got any comments, I love to hear them. Let me know if you've tried this palette. Do you have any cool highlight recommendations? Just post your thoughts down below as always. I'll be back soon with more reviews, and yeah, I'm going. She's going. Bye.